Well, my name's Mike, and I'm with Bev MD, and we created a product called ClearFast. And Dr. Umbach has done some trials and tested, and he finds this to be a superb product for you to be able to have on your day of surgery, actually the night before the day of surgery. Many of you may have, or you have a family member or loved one that have had a surgery, and you've heard these letters NPO, which stand for nothing by mouth, meaning that beginning at midnight, the day before your surgery, you're not going to drink anything, and you're not going to eat anything. And if you happen to have a surgery, or your process is going to be in the afternoon, say 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, that means you've probably gone without for a long time. Okay? And if you're like anything like my family members out there, when they haven't had something to eat, they don't become nicer, they become kind of cranky. And so this product here was developed by an anesthesiologist, and it plays by all the medical rules out there in terms of this allows us to provide you this beverage, and you can actually drink it up to 2 hours prior to your surgery. So this NPO at midnight the rule no longer applies. So that you may hear the phrase NPO 2 hours, that means nothing by mouth for the 2 hours prior to your surgery. Now, to give you an idea of why versus maybe, well, why can't I drink a Diet Coke? Why can't I have a glass of orange juice and such? And the product was actually engineered with complex carbohydrates. And as you all know, with regards to your nutrition trainings and such, carbohydrates, that's the fuel for the body, but the complex ones are easy for the body to absorb, but they're very slow to release, which means we're going to carb you up, just like if you were going to go run a marathon. And so we're going to give you some reserves in your body so that during the surgery, your body is able to maintain itself. It's kind of like thinking in terms of the body has 2 different states it gets to reside in. One is a fed state, and one is a starved state. And this is going to help prevent your body from moving into that starved state, because that's usually when complications could occur with regards to just the whole process of it. Now, the good news of this is that it tastes really nice. It's kind of a light grape taste. You would, traditional for here at Blossom Bariatrics, you'll have one of these before you retire for the evening, the night before. Okay, so you can, whether you go to sleep at 9 o'clock or 12 midnight or whatever. And then approximately 2 hours prior to surgery is when you'd have the second one. Okay. There's 44 grams of complex carbohydrates. So between the 2 of them, you'll have 88. It will have the hydration of the liquids on there. So it's really easy for an IV to get started and such. And you'll actually, oftentimes, if there's nausea, this will help reduce the nausea and the upsetness with regards to that. But all the benefits really come in terms of your recovery afterwards, because your body was well maintained throughout the surgery. So, questions, thoughts? They have these here. Pardon me. They have. Yeah, they'll make them available to you here at Blossom Bariatrics. Mm-hmm. Yep. So we work with them with regards to that. Price on here. These are, I believe they're $15.95. And so it's the alternative is the fact that the water, it hydrates, but it doesn't provide you any nutrition. Unfortunately, with things like apple juice, okay, it hydrates, but frankly, it's all sugar water. That's essentially look at the composition of it there. We use as a sweetener in here, we're also using stevia, so we're able to provide the sweetness to it there, but it doesn't bring any of the calories to it or any of the baggage of artificial sweeteners, which we all try to stay away from and such. We've also included an ingredient here called L-citrulline, which is a good thing for the body as it helps. It's called a vasodilator, and it actually kind of opens up the blood vessels and such, allow the blood to move quicker through the body, reduce blood pressure and such, and also assists in the recovery of muscles and such after surgery. So again, this thing was designed for one purpose and one purpose only, and that was simply as a preoperative surgical drink. And they've been using a product like this over in Europe now for over 15 years, and we've introduced it here actually in January of this year for the U.S. market. So The interesting side note is that athletes, you might go, geez, maybe that would work for my son who plays soccer. Yeah, we have a lot of athletes that are utilizing this because it's a tremendous source of complex carbs that will help keep their body. For the same reasons for you, it'll also benefit athletes and such. Any other questions? Good question.
How many do you need? One before and one after?
You'll actually have one the night before, and you'll have one approximately 2 hours prior to surgery. That's it, so a total of 2. Okay? Yeah, yes.
How late do you take it the night before? Because we're too far away, so our time changes.
Oh, actually, if you have, I'm gonna guess that you may have an afternoon like that. You could actually have one that morning and then a second one 2 hours prior to. Yeah, it's oftentimes for lengthier surgeries and such, the doctor may actually prescribe 3. So yeah, perfect, you bet. Any other questions? All right. Well, good luck to you. I'm sure you'll enjoy this. It's my mom always told me if it tastes bad, it must work. But honestly, this tastes pretty good stuff. So okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.